Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm Ron LeGrand, and you probably should get out a pencil and paper to take down notes because I'm going to go through a lot of information here in the time we have together and show you step by step on where I think the big money is in real estate today and all the benefits that you get out of doing real estate a little different than most people do it. So first, why real estate? And the answer is because you can start immediately. You do not need money or credit. You don't need partners. And if you operate my way, you'll operate with little or no risk, which is a big deal, especially going into an uncertain economy. We don't know what's coming up. I'm all about reversing that risk and making money and growing wealth without having to put yourself in a position to where it can all go away, as some of you have probably already experienced. And then we can do it tax-free as well. So what we do outside of our tax-free entities, we can do inside and actually never pay taxes on the gain. This is a part-time business with a full-time income because it's not about how much time you got. It's about what you do with a little bit of time you need, because we're so systemized today, it doesn't take much time. So it's not a full-time business. It's a full-time income, and it's a part-time business, as you'll see as we go through my presentation. We're going to cover the best way to make the most money in real estate without using your money, without using your credit. But we're going to talk about beautiful homes in beautiful neighborhoods, not ugly houses that need rehab or even wholesaling houses. We're going to go into the other side of the business that doesn't require either one of those two. Well, how to build a big monthly residual income. Please note that word residual. That's where you go do the job once and the money just keeps on coming for years and years and years to come. You can operate your business without raising money. You don't need to go get private lenders. You definitely don't need to go get the banks. Real estate is one of the only businesses that I've ever seen where I can have such a little teeny overhead and get these high transaction values checks starting at $20,000 and up, which honestly, I'm not going to do a deal that doesn't net me at least $20,000. And frankly, that doesn't excite me a whole lot. You're going to see why here in just a little while. You're going to see how to get $20,000 a check within 60 days. And I'll show you the steps to get to it. But that $20,000 check is only about a $250,000 house. And the bigger the house you buy, the bigger those checks you get on the front end, called non-refundable option deposits. And if you learn how to do one, next thing you're going to be asking yourself, I can do one, I can do two. Well, let's start with that first one because that's the most critical one. That's the check you need to get as fast as you can, and that's what we work so hard around here to do. We call it the shut-up check. So when all the dream stealers come at you and tell you why you can't do this and why it don't work here and why the market's so hot and blah, 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 just hold up the check and say, shut up, leave me alone, go away. A little bit about me. I'm in my 41st year now, well over 3,000 houses, quit counting a long time ago. I've done commercial properties in actually 11 different states now, still do them to this very day. Students bring us deals. I fund the deals for them of all shapes and sizes. I'm constantly running multiple businesses simultaneously, and I train the trainers. In fact, most of the people that you see online and offline that are training in real estate came to me, learned real estate, and then they started training parts of what they already learned, and that's okay because I help them learn how to train as well. I've spoken with the biggest and the best there is. In fact, this guy, you might recognize him. By the way, we hired him to speak one time, and I can tell you for a fact his hair is real. I look down at his head, it's coming right out of his head. So that ain't fake hair. But I didn't start like this. It took me a long time to figure out where the real money was in real estate and where the low-hanging fruit is. Today, I'm all about the low-hanging fruit, working a whole lot less, making a whole lot more. But it all started with a washing machine. Way back in March of 1982, when I was working in a service station, I was the manager, I was the mechanic, and I was the gas pumper. And I worked about 6 days a week and could barely get by. And literally had to buy groceries twice a week because we couldn't afford a whole week's worth at one time. And one day I came home and Beverly said, my washing machine is broke. Can you please get me a new one? Because we've already repaired this one twice. And I said, no. I said, no way I can afford a new washing machine. And I couldn't sleep. And I laid there all night, thinking to myself, what a loser you are. Couldn't even buy a washing machine so she could wash my filthy, stinking clothes after I came home from working under cars in the hot Florida sun all day. That was a turning point for me. I made the decision right then and there, and I'm not going to live my life like this. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to keep doing it. And I started looking, and I found real estate. Saw an ad that said, come learn how to buy real estate with no money or credit. And I didn't believe that. It surely was a scam. But I went down and checked it out. And the next thing I know, I'm in a 2-day seminar that I had to borrow the money to go to. And that 2 days changed my life. 3 weeks later, I had my first check for $3,000, which was a lot of money to me. That's in 1982. I don't know what that relates to today, but it was a lot of money. I cashed that check, and I decided right then and there I'm going to quit my job, and I did. And I went out and I started doing what I was taught, even though I had no idea what I was doing. It didn't take me long to get my first deal. But the difference between me and most, I guess, is that I kept on going and literally spent the next 2 years buying all the low-end crap that I could find in Jacksonville, Florida, where I live, because I could. I didn't really understand what I was doing. I didn't have any really grasp on what I was trying to accomplish, except trying to make a better living. So I bought all the wrong crap in the wrong places for the wrong reasons, and built a mess is what I built. And in fact, I was a millionaire in about 2 years on paper in equity, because I was buying low end stuff. There's always crap going wrong, and as a landlord, you're supposed to be responsible for all of the repairs. I didn't know then what I know now. Today, I do no repairs when I put tenants in houses, which I'll explain later. So I started selling off all that crap that I bought. It took me 5 years to unload all of that junk that I bought, and 5 years to understand a little more about what this business is about. That's 5 years after the first two. That's 7 years in before I really got a grasp around this thing called real estate. I bought over 20 houses my first 6 months in business and just kept on going. And as times change, I change with them. You got to learn now that when the market changes, you change with the market, but the techniques are not going to change. A lot of the techniques we use today, we used back then. We've enhanced on them over the years. We learned some things to add to them. We really become very, very good at what we do, but it wasn't without a lot of pain and struggle and years of making stupid mistakes, because I am a man and I just wanted things done my way, and I didn't think anybody could do it better than me, and I didn't want to turn loose, like you probably. In other words, I was my own worst enemy. The enemy is here. It is us. And I will tell you, my friends, if you don't let other people do what they do best and get out of their way, you're not going to accomplish much trying to do it all yourself, because most of it will not get done. And I learned that other people will do almost everything that you need done for you for a very small amount of money, freeing you up to do what you do best. It means you got to get automated, which I'm going to discuss. You've got to delegate, which is critical if you want to succeed in any business. And you got to get systems, which are so simple in this business. We've got them already done. You just plug and play, and almost everything is done for you, starting with our virtual assistants. Even your phone calls are taken for you today from both buyers and sellers. So since we have this great automation, the key is when you start learning the business, you're going to start learning the implementation that goes along with the business. Therefore, when you come out of the training, you're hitting the ground running. So we specialize here at Global Publishing. If you get your business to the point to where that's mostly all you have to do, you're going to love your business and you're going to love your life. Part of learning how to do real estate is learning how to get out of the way and get it all done for you as well, if you want to make the most money and enjoy the business. But before you can be successful in real estate, we have to change your thinking. But then for some of you watching, have to change your thinking on what you're worth. It's hard to go from a life of making a living to a life of wealth. A lot of people can't make that mental switch because they just don't think they are worthy. And frankly, we spend a lot more time on that than we do teaching you real estate, if you want to know the truth.